And welcome back to the Rock Shop Podcast. Joining me today is a very special guest, and his name is.
Wesley Boudelier.
Yeah, what's
Oh,
up, Wes? Can I call you that?
hey. Yeah, no, for sure. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. You make friends with Facebook Marketplace, you make friends in all kinds of interesting ways. Through Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, you bought some screenplays off of me at some Reservoir Dogs, Three Billboards, I can't remember what the other one was.
Logan.
Logan, yeah. And yeah, we met up and got to talking and uh had a lot in common. We're talking movies and then I'm like, "Hey, let's follow each other on Instagram." And you go, "Wait, are you ET No Context on Twitter?" And I was like, "Yes, that that is me." Did my hundreds of ET posts on Instagram probably gave it away. But that yeah, that about sums it up and brought us here.
All of social media, like the history of it was just leading to that. Like, that's
Yeah.
always something else, is just meeting your mutuals on in person.
Yeah, yeah, without even meaning to. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
that was cool.
you had just tweeted at me like the same week, like a couple days prior, and I was like, "Oh shit, I did talk to you." That's wild. Small world.
Yeah. A little unrelated. I only did that once before. There's a guy who followed me on Instagram. I don't even know how he found me, but he's been on this podcast a few times. But basically, I think he found me through Film Freeway, if you're familiar with that.
Hmm. It
You know what I'm
sounds
talking
familiar.
about?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Film Freeway, it's the website where, like, if you have a film and you want to send it to film festivals, that's like the site to do it.
Hmm.
So, I think he found me through that, but he ended up following me and we just DM, and he lives out in Colorado, but he came on this podcast once or twice and we just like DM,
Sweet.
and randomly, about a year and a half ago, he randomly hit me up and was like, "Hey, my buddies and I are going to Vegas. You want to join?" I was like, "Okay, sure."
Oh my God, how was that?
It was awesome, dude. We didn't do a whole lot, unfortunately, just because our timelines didn't really sync up. We ended
Uh-huh.
up seeing a burlesque show together. Um, and then we hung out after. And
Sweet.
I had, hey, big note to all my viewers, do not eat at the Subway on Miracle Mile. I had the tuna sub, which, I mean, we're in the middle of a desert, but that gave me food poisoning. So I had to like,
Ooh.
yeah, I had to run out of the burlesque show to vomit.
Uh, I got food poisoning. It might be the only time I've gotten food poisoning was from clam chowder at Disneyland, and I threw up in a rental car going back to LA where we were staying, and like threw up all over the highway. It was that was not fun.
I don't think I'd eat theme park clam chowder, buddy.
It was good at the time. I don't think I've had clam chowder since, so it scared me away from it.
I love a good chowder, what's that show? Like chowder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like a chowder. I like a chili.
You know what I'm talking about though? With chowder, you take the moon, you take the sun.
Yes, but I
Yeah.
don't know why I know what that is. It does sound familiar though.
Cartoon Network is that show.
The purple guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Misadventures of Flapjack on there. That was my show for a little bit.
I liked Mr. Meaty.
Oh God. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that they liked that show. I remember it vividly because those are some of the most grotesque puppets.
I've never been to the Center of Puppetry Arts, but I can only hope.
Oh man, you
And
need
I
to.
love puppets. I love the Muppets.
Yeah,
I really love puppets. And Chowder, that had like
it,
puppets in the end credits.
I was gonna say I didn't know if there was like a puppet episode or what it was, but I do recall seeing like puppet versions of those characters.
Yeah, they'd play those over the end credits, but Mr. Meaty, I hope they have that at the center because
I,
I've never been. I've lived here a very long time. I just never went, even though I'm an
man,
enthusiast.
you totally need to. I was just there recently, and actually, uh, I went 3 times this past year. But I was the same way where I've lived here my whole life, and I didn't ever go until I was maybe. I was like 18 or older when I finally went, and I was like, like, what the hell have I been doing? I should have been hanging out here all the time because it's really cool. But never seen any Mr. Meaty, but they do get some like pretty cool stuff. I mean, they got the whole Jim Henson exhibit, but then they have a Worlds of Puppetry exhibit that kind of has a little bit of everything. And I've seen Slimer from one of the recent Ghostbusters movies is in there right now. They got Lamb Chop in there right now. But they get awesome stuff like all the time. So I love it over there. I always say that's the coolest place we have in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think once I move down there, yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, especially if they get some cool events. Like there was a great one on April Fool's Day last year with like a bunch of the Muppet performers, and that was super cool where they were just talking about the pranks they used to pull like in the back in the Jim Henson days, and it was that was super cool. So definitely keep an eye out on any events they do. It's always cool.
Love to
Yeah.
have you on to like do a real episode. Maybe like when the Sabrina Carpenter pilot comes out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm very hype about that. I have a lot of Muppet thoughts.
Yeah, we should, or like a Muppet tier ranking, tier list of the movie.
Yeah,
Be sick. I haven't seen
yeah.
all of them though.
Yeah, I need to refresh myself a little bit because it's been a while since I've seen some of them, but I did revisit a couple last year. So I definitely want to keep it going though.
This is something I don't share around often, but because people just make fun of me. But Muppets 2011 made my list for the top 10 films of its decade. The tens, it made it on there. It's one of my favorites from.
Damn. I mean, I won't fault anybody for ranking Muppets super high, but I'm one of the people and one of the few because I feel like most people like 2011 more. I actually like Muppets Most Wanted more than the 2011 one.
I liked Most Wanted. I didn't love it as much as 11.
I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny, but then I think the songs are better too. I feel like when I rewatched them both, like not too long ago, I was like, 2011 is too much Jason Segel, Amy Adams shenanigans, like their relationship, and I'm like, let's get to the Muppets, guys. And I do like it a lot though, like and there's great songs on that too, like obviously Man or Muppet, but Pictures in My Head makes me cry like a little baby every time I see it.
Yeah. I don't know. We need to go in depth. There's a lot I haven't. I think I haven't seen most. I've seen, despite me being a fan, it's only 2011 Most Wanted, Christmas Carol, of course.
Yeah,
But
Treasure
that's not an
Island.
annual watch for me. I like it, but I don't. Although
Man, that's
I love the other Christmas specials they've done. I love uh Letters to Santa. Oh, that one's fine. The 2002 one I really like.
is that it's a very merry Muppet Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's the cursed one with like Joe Rogan and 9/11 in it.
I watched that one again this year or last year now, 2025. Um, it's a weird one.
It is a
It
weird one. It's like Universal, I think, made it too.
yes, I think you might be right. It might have been on NBC at the time, and it's just like the weirdest cameos, and then like the weirdest like long lasting jokes where like a guy shows up and is just doing like a prolonged crocodile hunter bit, but it's not Steve Irwin. It's just like someone pretending to be him, and you're like, what are we doing here?
Well, that was Fear Factor. That's why they had Joe on there.
Yeah, which is now
Then
like such a jump scare.
it was, dude, it got me off guard. And then they had the full cast of Scrubs, I think. And
Yes, and then they also have a Triumph the Insult comic dog, which I really like. That's a nice puppet crossover.
I think they had the Sopranos cast members in that too.
Yes. Did
That was a weird one, but I liked
did
it.
you watch the Muppets Mayhem show on Disney Plus?
No, because I like Electric Mayhem, but I don't like them as much as like Fozzie or like
Right.
the core
I
guys. I
I
heard it's not really. I like Adam F. Goldberg,
man,
but I don't
I
see it.
highly recommend. I think it's probably my favorite thing they've done since Most Wanted, probably. It's it's pretty darn good, and I was skeptical at first going into it, but it's pretty darn funny. Um, it has some great moments. The human cast is fine, but like the writing is pretty good, and uh, the cameos in there are pretty good. There's a good one with Peter Jackson, and they name drop Meet the Feebles, if you've ever seen that.
I haven't, but I know what it is.
Yeah, I finally watched that one not too long ago, and it's as wild as you would imagine.
All right, but I'm sure you definitely remember. But before I get into this, I love the Muppets a lot. I didn't really like it as a kid,
Hmm.
but it was like when that 11 came out and it got like amazing reviews. It's like, all right, I gotta see this. I was like 13 probably, and I saw E.T. around the same time. And you're kind of grungy when you're that age. You're like 13, you're grungy. These are
Yeah,
like tethers to like a more whimsical era.
right. Yeah,
There's wonder in life. It's not also grim dark, even though grim dark is cool. The Dark Knight Returns is cool and all, whatever.
yeah,
Cool when you're like 15.
yeah,
Um, they're always just like whimsical and kind of like pure. And there's like bad things happen like E.T., but it's such a loving film and it's such a wonderful film about like tolerance and loving your neighbor and all that. It's but Muppets 2016 or that was 15, 16. The Muppets on ABC, and
yeah.
they had stuff like Fozzie fucking. I did not like that, dude. You remember that?
Yeah, I like that show for what it is. I mean, I have kind of like a love-hate relationship with it because that's kind of the show where Steve Whitmire, who was Kermit for like most of our lives, and then he's always been Rizzo until recently. He got fired like shortly after that because he was really like advocating for the characters like behind the scenes. He was like, "Yeah, I don't think the that Kermit would do that." Like, there's like some episode where I don't know if it's still in there, but he like lies to Robin, his nephew, and Steve was like, "I don't think he would lie to Robin. He wouldn't do that." And it's like, yeah, you're right, he wouldn't. But of course, Disney doesn't want to hear that, and they're like, "All right, get out of here, dude. We'll just get someone else to play Kermit." But now watching that show back now, I think it's funny for what it is, but it is like really bizarre. Like it doesn't feel like the characters necessarily in like every regard, but it does have some funny moments. I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger hit with like general audiences. Like I get why Muppet fans might be iffy on it, but it felt like the kind of thing they should be doing, like mockumentary sitcom. But yeah, I'm surprised it didn't last at least a little longer. But I'm glad they're finally doing like the Muppet Show. That's what I thought they were gonna do. Like after the 2011 movie, they kind of set it up perfectly to be like, okay, now we're bringing back the Muppet Show, and they just didn't do it. And now here we are, like a decade later, and they're finally bringing it back.
Yeah, we're just at the point where we know this is what the people want. Like, go camp. I don't like, well, I don't like Sabrina Carpenter's like fan base. Like they just kind of annoy me. That's Stan Twitter in
That's
general.
yeah, that's just Stan Twitter basically. Like any buddy stands on there are like kind of the worst. Like I even saw some Muppet fans on Twitter recently that were just like pretty toxic and horrible there. And I was like, that's wild. Like, we're in a bad spot when even like the Muppet side of Twitter is like a cesspool. Like nothing is safe on Twitter, but people get a little out of hand. But
Yeah, this the stands drive me crazy. And that's like any stand, but they're like especially like
yeah, I think
vocal.
she's a great choice for it though, because people like her. She's funny. She's actually like a big star, unlike a lot of the people I feel like they've been like pushing on to Muppet stuff recently. Like Muppets Mayhem had some good cameos. Like they had Peter Jackson, they had Morgan Freeman, they had like some high caliber people. But then like Muppets Haunted Mansion, like if you look up like who played like the singing busts in Muppets Haunted Mansion, you're like, why the hell are these the people they got? It's like Pat Sajak and like a bunch of like who is this and who cares? Like why why did you even give these people a call? Like it's it's like Orson Welles used to be in Muppet movies. Like why are we slumming it with Lily Singh on the Muppets Mayhem show, who is actually pretty decent. I think she's decent, better than I thought she would be on there, but it's just like it's the Muppets. Like, I feel like they're finally getting a little more respect now because people like Sabrina Carpenter are like, "Hey, I want to be part of this." And now Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are producing a Miss Piggy movie apparently. So it's like, okay, finally we got like A-list talent coming in and like doing stuff with the Muppets.
And that's the thing, like Sabrina's fan base annoys me, but every pop star fan base annoys me. But she is the perfect person for this pilot. This is like what I think, I don't know about you, but me, like this is what I've been waiting for is like a return to form because I
Yeah.
don't care about Muppets 2015 that much. That turned me off. I did not care about that Muppet. What was that Miss Piggy talk show thing? Um, where they need to commit, and finally they're doing it. Like
Yeah.
Mayhem, that's fine, but I
Muppets
don't care. I want the show.
Muppets Now was the one that was pretty lame. That was before Muppets Mayhem. It might have been before Muppets Haunted Mansion as well. It was
Yes, that's
a
a
Disney.
Piggy talk show.
Yeah. Well, no, that it might have had some talk show bits. I know she had the talk show on the mockumentary show too. Muppets Now, it might have had talk show bits too, but it would have just like random bits like Swedish Chef cooking with like whoever that turkey Muppet is, and it was basically like it just felt like YouTube clips, like videos that they were gonna put on YouTube, and they were like, let's just put them all together and like call this a show, and it was like this is not a show, and it's kind of just lame, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't bother, but
Yeah, that yeah that is the one thing. It's like I as much as I love the Muppets, I feel like it's important to be able to say like, hey, that didn't work so well. And I'm glad Disney's at least like trying to do more stuff with them because I feel like we're always in danger of them being like, fuck it, we're just gonna toss them aside and do nothing because they have done that before. I feel like it's been a while since Muppet fans have really been like eating good, and now this year it feels like it's gonna be a big Muppet year.
yeah, I agree. Anyway, to the meat of this video, gotta have you back on. I've unfinished Muppet business to talk about, but
Yeah, I know. We said we weren't gonna get into it, and then we really got into it a little bit. But
I don't
that's
get the opportunity, so it's very cool.
I was gonna say. It's I
It
I
is end
I
of the
could talk
year.
about Muppets for forever.
It is, yeah. It is beginning of the new year. Just thinking we could talk about. the top three and bottom three movies of 2025. Seeing what we could do, like I do number three worst and the best, then second worst, second best. But we'll alternate. So you can go first with your number three worst, third worst.
Yeah. Oh man. Are you a letterboxed user?
Yeah, but I don't really like post on there.
Yeah. I mostly do it for myself because it is a good way to. I was keeping a list of what movies I watched every year anyway. Um,
I
but
use IMDb for that. So
I know that's a good idea. But yeah, and then I log them too because I'm so forgetful because I'm like I think I remember liking that movie, so now it's kind of helpful. I go back and can read like, oh, I did like this movie. I now I remember it a little more. Um, but yeah, uh, I basically kept a list all throughout the year where I would just like rank the movies of 2025. And at the bottom here, I got Him, which I just watched recently. Did you see that one?
no, but that's your third worst.
Yeah, it's Marlon Wayans is in it, and he's actually the best part. And honestly, I don't even think it's the worst movie ever or anything. Like it's fine to watch once, but it's just pretty cliche. Like I feel like every horror movie has turned into this sort of thing, like cultish and like weird imagery and like it didn't really go anywhere. It was interesting as I was watching it, I guess. Like I was invested, but by the end I was just kind of like, okay, there wasn't really anything there other than Marlon Wayans who gives like a pretty fun performance, but kind of disappointing since Jordan Peele produced it because it kind of just feels like somebody saw Hereditary and Get Out and was like, "Oh, I want to do that," and it's like, this isn't it, dude."
Yeah, I really liked in the marketing how much they emphasized Jordan's name. And I did digging and I was like, he didn't direct this or write this at all. And that's how
Yeah,
you
and
knew it was going to be bad.
yeah, and I feel like people kind of pinned it on him too, because a lot of people on Twitter I saw were like, "Oh, it's a Jordan Peele movie," and it's like, no, this is not a Jordan Peele movie. And honestly, I if I were him, I would have been like, yeah, maybe like minimize how much you use my name on this one because it wasn't great. It wasn't the worst movie ever, but it wasn't great.
I mean, that's what like Spielberg does. I mean, he's got his name on Transformers 2,
Yeah, I think
crying
he's
out
got his name on
loud.
all of the Transformers.
Exactly. That's just what they do. Like, I guess
Yeah.
Jordan's a little different because he doesn't do that often, but he doesn't have Spielberg money.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if it helped like a young director get a movie made, then that's cool. Um, and there are worse movies out there. This had like a couple of cool moments, and uh, like I said, Marlon Wayans was awesome. But yeah, my two two very bottom ones are like the ones that I was like almost offended by how awful they were. So I'll save that as a tease.
All right, for me, I'm gonna put this out there. This was originally the number two worst, but nobody really is gonna care about this because it's not actually out yet. I went to the Toronto International Film Festival, and I had the misfortune of watching the new Steven Soderbergh film, The Christophers. I even forgot what it was called for a second.
Oh, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, I think Neon picked it up, but I was really bored by it. And it's a very chatty movie,
Mm.
and it's just a slog. But I mean, I saw the new Linklater film, Blue Moon.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I want to see that.
that's super chatty, but that was one of my favorites of the year. So the Christopher
Oh,
is
nice.
just super boring and not interesting, and it's Ian McKellen
Oh, wow.
rambling for like 2 hours about something Boomer.
Did
Um,
you did you see Black Bag, the other Soderbergh from this year?
I did not. I heard that was much better.
Yeah, I was actually shocked. It's not in my top three, but it is kind of near the top of the year, and also very chatty, but very good. I was pleasantly surprised by that one.
Yeah, the Christophers, I mean, I got pretty good reviews. And people in the audience did like it, but even the YouTuber YMS, his tip video, he was just like, yeah, this was not for me. It was really boring. And I agree. Um, it also sucks because Ian is really old and he couldn't be a TIFF. So James Corden came in his place instead.
Ugh.
Oh
Is
man,
he in the movie?
he is. But he's not really annoying. Like he's not
Oh,
bad in the movie. But I actually think the whole movie sucks around him. But he's not the
finally
reason it's bad.
the two of them reuniting after being in Cats together.
Oh shit, you're right. But
The reunion everyone's been waiting for.
nobody cares about the Christophers because it's not out yet. It's not that fun to talk about. Just like the movie is not fun. So um I'm taking that out, but I want to highlight how unfun it was to watch. My third worst, if we're not counting the Christophers, is Honey Don't by one of the Coen
Oh,
brothers.
I
I
haven't
can't remember
seen
which
this
one.
yet.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I tried to watch what was the other one that he did with Margaret Qualley? It
Uh,
was another recent one that felt very much in the same vein. And I started it and was like, I can't watch this. And I'm not really the type to stop a movie halfway. Oh, Drive Away Dolls, that's what
I
it
was about to
was.
say.
Did you see that one too?
I did not. The trailers looked really annoying.
Yeah, I made it about like 15 or 20 minutes and I was like, this is not for me. And I I like Margaret Qualley a lot, but this was and I imagine Honey Don't is probably very similar.
It is the second of a trilogy that who's that? What's the guy's name? God, Margaret is gorgeous. I used to not even like her, but
I think she's great. She's great in like everything except when I try to watch Drive Away Dolls, she's got like the Sandy Cheeks accent going on and I was like, I don't know about this, but she's great in like everything else. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Substance. She's The Substance is awesome. That was one of my favorites of that year.
yeah. Yeah, Ethan Cohen. Yeah, I mean, hey, the cast is stacked because it's Margaret. She's still doing that Sandy Cheeks thing. Aubrey Plaza and
And Chris Evans.
now there's another guy. Wait, where is he? Oh, Charlie Day. Yeah, Charlie Day. And it was horribly underutilized, tragically. It didn't look like a great movie, but it was like an hour 25, I think. And I was like, well, that's not
Yeah.
super long, but it was so boring. Um, the plot was not really, it wasn't nonsensical. It's one of those movies where like, why did this have to be made?
Yeah.
And it's just really sad because like I'm not the biggest Coen Brothers fan, but I love like Big Lebowski and Fargo and Raising Arizona and
Yeah.
man, they got the sauce. And that's not even I didn't even mention like No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
They got more bangers than most people, but this was just a flop, just unfunny, didn't utilize its cast well. Um,
Yeah,
I
the
have a complaint.
I could tell they were going that he was going for funny with Drive Away Dolls, and I was like, this was just not hitting for me at all. Like it's very I don't even know how to describe it. It's just very off-putting to me.
It's very uninspired, kind of
Yeah,
a true
yeah,
master that Ethan is, but just bland.
Yeah, I
Nothing
feel
to
you
it.
there.
That's a shame. And yeah, just boring and not funny. That's all I can say. But back to you.
All right. This is another one I watched recently, and it's actually one that I was shocked to find out that I guess the majority of people liked. Like even critics were pretty on board with this one. Had a 90% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone I've talked to, most people liked it. But Together, the horror movie with Alison Brie and Dave Franco. Have you seen that one?
This is your second worst.
Yeah.
I didn't. I think I kept buying tickets on A-list, and then I just never bothered to see it.
I've been there. Yeah, I finally watched it because it's streaming now. And I was actually really excited to see it. I was bummed that I missed it in theaters because it looked like a fun premise and the trailers were really fun and like it seemed like, oh, like gross body horror, like that'll be good. But it's so like I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but just like every horror cliche you can think of from like the past decade where you're like, Jesus Christ, is this really what we're doing? Do you care about spoilers?
Uh, for the viewers, Together is about to be spoiled. I think I read it on Wikipedia, but I can't really remember.
Yeah, they it has kind of just all of the same trappings of like every horror movie recently, or like a good chunk of them, where it's like the family trauma and cults and like e even the body horror stuff just wasn't that good. There were a few like moments where I was like, "Oh, I'm getting kind of like squeamish," but then it's so like CGI heavy. Like the Substance was so great because it was a lot of like practical effects, and I feel like that's always gonna be the best body horror shit is if it's practical. And a lot of the stuff in Together just looked like cartoony, like, and that's not really scary. Like you just it it did not have the desired effect that I thought they were going for. And the two of them are good in it, Dave Franco and Alison Brie, like they're fun, but it's like it doesn't really commit to the bit either because I was expecting like, oh, it's gonna get pretty gnarly. Like in the trailer, there's that scene where you see him go for the whatever tool that will like cut stuff and they got to cut themselves apart and you're like, "Oh, it's going to get like gross." They cut away from that like just how you would in the trailer and don't show you like the big moment and they're not even really that bloody afterwards. Which I'm not saying everything has to be like a total blood fest or whatever because I'm not even really into that. Like I don't see the Terrifier movies or anything like that. But yeah, it just felt like missed opportunity and like they didn't fully commit to the bit and even the stuff that was shown was so just like cartoony and lame and like I said, just super like cliche after cliche. But everyone else seemed to like it, so what do I know?
Maybe I'll watch it, but I don't know. My list of stuff to watch is so long as is, you know.
Yeah, I feel you
I
there.
mean, I don't think I was missing that much. Rotten Tomatoes saying someone's got 90% means nothing anymore.
Yeah, that is true. I've always didn't think the audience score really meant much because people just like review bomb everything anyway. So it's like I don't really care about that. But now the critic score is starting to mean less because like anybody with a random like epic superhero movie blog.org can get on there and it's like, all right, this doesn't really carry that much weight.
Yeah, but maybe I'll watch it eventually. Yeah, I kept buying, not really buying because I have A-list, but I kept getting tickets for it and it just never worked out. So I just have a ton of Together tickets. So to make it Together too, I'm the reason why. All right, my number three favorite film
Oh
was
wait, wait, this is your favorite or are you doing a second least favorite?
no, I'm doing third favorite. I know you're counting.
Oh, okay. I should have done the same. Okay.
It's okay. My third favorite was One Battle After Another.
Hell yes.
It was a lot to process. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I've never been the biggest PTA fan, to be honest with you. It's one of those things where it's like I'm gonna watch it, but I'm probably not gonna love it. Like his last thing, Licorice Pizza, bro, I did not care for that, but I don't think a lot of people either.
I liked it. My wife liked it more than I did. I feel like I need to watch it again, but I liked it okay. It wasn't my favorite of his. I loved Phantom Thread though.
That's one I still haven't seen.
I think that one's really great. I think Punch Drunk Love is great.
I think that one's fine. Like that was never my cup of tea. I mean, hey, There Will Be Blood is really good, and Boogie Nights is really good. So I keep coming back to the theater thinking this is gonna be Boogie Nights. It never is, but One Battle is its own beast, man. Like my criticisms against Warner Brothers aside, hey, I'll give them kudos. Like they gave
They,
him the goods he needed, man. Because I mean, you see the budget on screen. It's really cool to see an auteur get FU money. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Scorsese got all that money to make Irishman or Killers of the Flower Moon. Like you just see that on the budget, and it's really good. It's tense,
yes,
brilliantly shot. I actually saw it. I think 35 millimeter at the
nice.
Plaza.
Oh, sweet.
Um, yeah, gorgeous. It's silly at times.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. I'll say that.
The
It's kind of a
score,
weirdo.
the score is so tense. Like that, like just little piano key stressing me out the whole time.
Yeah. YMS said this in his review that I'll echo. YMS said something effective like these just feel like iconic characters. Like maybe when you think
Yeah.
of a Leo character now, you'll think of the name's escaping me. What was the name he stole from that guy?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. But that goes to show because I agree that Leo's character especially feels iconic, and a few of them in this movie do, like Sean Penn's character as well. But I feel like people always do that thing where they're like, they say it about Avatar, where they're like, "Oh, nobody even knows those characters' names," and it's like that's such a weird metric because I feel like there are a lot of like classic movie characters that you maybe don't even know their names necessarily, but it doesn't really matter. Like that's a perfect example right there. It's like you remember that performance and like how it made you feel and like how like gripping it was. But the name doesn't really matter as much as the impact.
I'm just not feeling great, but I mean, Bob Ferguson was the name, and damn, like that's an all-timer role for Leo right there.
It was awesome.
And to comment on YMS's uh, note on the film, I mean, a month later is Halloween, and I actually ran into a guy dressed as Bob, and I like instantly clocked him. I mean, then we had the little joke, like called me sensei, all that. Yeah, man, this is just a movie firing off all cylinders. Um, it's it was really great. It was something, it was something special. It's not my favorite, and I didn't even like it as much as most people. I think I gave it an 8, but it was also like I had to really digest it because there's a lot to it.
Right.
I definitely need to rewatch it, but um I can appreciate art when I see it, and it threads that needle of being like, oh, it's art, but it's also like something you could just put on background. You could pay attention to
Yeah.
watch, or it could just be a fun action movie, a fun 70s throwback.
Yeah.
But in that way,
Yeah.
it's very modern too. I love the 70s sensibilities, very grindhousey, but at the same way, it felt very modern. Where I had to like sometimes I keep going back in my head and thinking like, when is it set? in the near
Right.
future, in the 70s, or they have payphones in the present because at the beginning, they disrupt um, uh, an illegal immigration, whatever you call that,
Yeah, like a camp.
prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that prison they've got. So
It
it's
felt
yeah, I don't
I,
know.
I
It's
was surprised to
style is
find
so
out that
impressive.
I was shocked to find out that he had been working on this movie for a while or like wanting to make it for a while because it felt so relevant to now that it was like shocking to find out that this wasn't like a new idea for him, that this was something that had been like in the on the back burner for a while. But yeah, it's incredible. And it will might be making an appearance on my top three.
I was gonna say I figured it would to save some of your thoughts, but yeah, that's my number three. Yeah, really great, but I don't. It wasn't number one just because it didn't like personally touch me. You know what I mean? But I can
Gotcha.
still
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh, maybe I'll pivot to my top three because then we can both save our very best and very worst for the end.
sure. So
Um,
your third best then, I guess.
yeah. Okay. My third best, another one I watched recently that I regret not seeing in theaters. 28 years later. Did you see it?
I did not. I haven't seen any of them.
Oh man. Are you a big horror guy?
I like it. What's that, Danny Boyle? I like him.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't seen them either actually until last year because I know for a while 28 Days Later, the first one was kind of hard to find on streaming. I don't know if it's still up now, but I did it did finally go up on streaming and I watched it and was like, "Holy shit, this is awesome." It's like uh just stylistically like super cool and like very like run and gun. It's low budget. It's very effective and like freaky, but also like weirdly hopeful. Like 28 Days Later feels very much about like what it means to be human and what it means to live. But 28 years feels very much like about what it means to die and like death, but in like such a profound way where like the zombie stuff is great and it's freaky and everything, but like th this one really hit me in a way that I was not expecting from this type of movie. Like I knew there'd be something more to it. Like it's never just gonna be zombies, especially like Alex Garland and Danny Boyle are coming back for this like what 20 years later, basically 28 years later after the first one. Like I knew there'd be more to it than just like, oh, let's do more zombies, but it really kind of hit me in a way I wasn't expecting, and there's some really awesome performances. And I'm hyped to see where they go with the next one. But yeah, and it's shot really well where it doesn't feel like feels like they were able to replicate that style from the first one, even though it's obviously like much better like higher definition than it was back in the day, but like it still feels like it replicated that feel without feeling artificial. It still feels very like run and gun, um, but still very like striking. Like it's a very beautiful movie, despite it also having like really disgusting zombie shit. But uh, yeah, I highly recommend all those movies. I know people don't like 28 Weeks Later as much, because that's not it's not a Danny Boyle or Alex Garland one. I think it's decent at least, but yeah, the first and then this most recent one definitely worth watching and kind of blew me away.
Yeah, it is cool that those older movies are going on streaming. I know the Blu-ray for either days or weeks was like insanely expensive.
Yeah, I think it was Days because there was something weird with the rights where I think I don't know who owns them, but like Disney might own the rights to Weeks because Weeks was like easy to find on streaming, and Days was like impossible for a little while. But it might still be on streaming now, but
I think it's on Tubi, something like that,
it
where
might
it's
be.
kind of
Yeah.
easier to find. But that's great because like I've been wanting to see those. It's just the backlog is so long, and I just don't get
Yeah.
around to
Yeah,
it in time of the
this was
year.
my excuse to finally watch them because I I feel like they loomed so large when I was a kid, which is weird because I didn't really know a bunch of like people who watched horror movies or anything. Like my parents weren't into that. But I feel like I always knew like, oh, 28 days later, that's zombies. I don't know why I would know anything about it because I probably didn't know anyone who'd ever seen it, but I feel like it's always been like in the zeitgeist at the very least.
Weirdly enough, it's kind of the same for me too. Not when I was like a kid, but like when I was older. I guess because I just want to watch it, but I don't like pirate anything. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of like harder to find media that I just don't watch. It's in my IMDb checklist forever, and I just have no way of watching it legally. So, but
Yeah. My,
super cool. I'll definitely try and see them. Now
yeah,
they got the Bone Temple, and just with the director and it being a January release, I was thinking like, oh, that's probably not going to be very good. But apparently, like early critical like reception is great. So.
I have high hopes. What's funny is I saw the trailer for Bone Temple before I saw this other movie, and I was like, what in the world? I don't understand what's happening in this trailer at all. And now I've seen 28 years later and saw the trailer for Bone Temple again and was like, I still have no idea what's going on. Like, uh, it's gonna be interesting. They're definitely taking some swings and taking some turns because I couldn't even tell you where things are gonna go from here.
Idea. So for my second worst, we have Shelby Oaks. You
I
see that?
I did not see it. I've heard some bad things.
So I'm really into like DIY film, just indie stuff. And it's always cool when like a mega fan can do something like, follow their dream.
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. But I saw this movie and I heard it wasn't very good, but it's the guy's first little movie, whatever. And the first 10 minutes were awesome. I mean,
Oh wow.
I was watching this and it was unreal because it's like it's done like a YouTube video essay on a made up
Mhm.
thing. It's in that style.
That's cool.
And it was really cool. Like you never really see that. It's kind of guerrilla feeling, where it's almost like a video collage of like, hey, what happened to these YouTubers who were like investigating this paranormal thing and like where are they now? It's kind of like a video you'd watch at home, like eating dinner.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I was like, dude, I was just thinking in my head, like, dude, I love this movie so far. Like, yeah, it's a little unconventional, but like, what are people saying? Like, this isn't bad. And then like after 10 minutes, it becomes a normal just horror movie. It drops that.
Mm.
It drops like the faux documentary thing and it gets so bad and it gets so much worse as it goes on. Like it
Is
was
this pretty
upsetting to
like
watch.
cliche?
Oh God, dude, the cliches, so many. Like what you had with your third worst and all the cliches in together. Like these
Yeah.
are all the cliches. Like she goes to an insane asylum at night alone. There's a weird cult thing going on.
Jeez. Yeah.
Crazy, crazy ass plot holes. Just like contrivances. The script is awful.
Yeah, I think we
Um,
need to stop putting cults in horror movies for like the foreseeable future and until people can think of some other stuff.
a really awful ending that wasn't even funny bad. It was just, I mean, it's kind of humorously bad, but dude, like, oh, the pacing was horrible. Um, Really awful film. I mean, I'm glad it exists. Good for Chris. I don't really care for Chris Stuckman reviews. I wasn't like a I'd put on a video now and then if he popped up on my YouTube page for the movie I want to see. But
Yeah, I was never a Chris Stuckman guy, so it was funny to see. I mean, I understand that people have watched him for years, and so they feel like they want to be supportive, and I get that, but I feel like people were almost treating him like a Make-A-Wish kid or something, where they were like, "You don't say anything bad." Like he got to make this movie, and it's like, well, all's fair in the world of film here. We can all kind of critique as we see fit. Like he would do the same, and I don't know if he said anything about the reception of it since then, but um yeah, I haven't heard good things, and I think people are it's fair for people to criticize.
yeah, not scary, and even worse, it like steals from successful horror, which I mean people do, but it was bad.
Yeah.
It just those 10 minutes, dude. When I was watching this 10 minutes and like the YouTuber Nightmare Nick, if you follow him, he's like a paranormal YouTuber.
Hmm.
Goes up and I'm fairly certain Chills cameos. If you know Chills,
Mm-mm.
number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. You know
That
that guy?
sounds familiar when you put it like that.
He does like top 15 videos and he does them in this stupid voice. And he has like the classic video 15 scary mysteries on the internet, and number 15 was Burger King foot lettuce. Look that up, but I'm fairly certain he cameos, and that was delightful. But those 10 minutes were peak, and then it was all downhill. But
Man, that's a shame.
it is a shame.
Hopefully he'll get to make another movie because that would kind of suck to make one and then be like, "Oh, I guess that didn't work."
Yeah. But what's your next one? Second best.
Man, I I keep going back and forth to be honest. Like my top three here has changed like since we've been talking because it was a really good year, I feel like. And I'd love to do some honorable mentions at some point too because there's so many that I really really liked that maybe aren't top three, but I would love to shout out. But I feel like number two, I gotta say One Battle After Another.
Ooh.
And I had that as my number one right now, and I keep going back and forth with this top three. But yeah, I mean, basically echoing what you said, but I was just kind of like all in, like super locked in when I saw this in the theater, and it just felt different. Like when even in the theater, you could feel it around you, like people are into this, and I was almost shocked that they released it when they did, because like obviously it's pretty like uh political turmoil right now is pretty crazy this year, and this one being the type of movie that it is, I was kind of like, whoa, that this kind of took some balls to release at a time like this, and but I think even beyond all of that, it's really just about like this character. Well, not even just Bob, like Chase Infinity's character as well. All of these women in the film, um, but a lot about like family and as well as all of the more political themes. But it's shot beautifully. Like I was super on the edge of my seat. Like it's one of those movies where I want to watch it again, but I'm like I can't pause it. Like that would kill the momentum because it gets so like it's like a ticking time bomb. Like at moments, like I think some of the hardest I laughed all year was Leo on the phone with these guys trying to remember the passwords and the names and this and that. Like
What time is it?
it was killing me with him just getting just more and more upset. Like Leo is such a funny actor, and I don't know that he always gets a chance to play funny. There's some moments in like Wolf of Wall Street that are hilarious, and he plays it so well. And this is one of my favorite performances from him in a while. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well. That's another one where he gets to be really funny. Um, and Benicio obviously just like steals every scene he's in. But I was just on like the edge of my seat on like pins and needles the whole time because I was like, I actually have no idea where this movie is going. And it takes some really interesting turns and just like looks beautiful. So I I think this is gonna win Best Picture if I had to take a stab at it. That's not really based on anything except for how I think the Academy looks at some of these. Like this feels like the most relevant to our times right now, and on top of that is also just like a badass, really good good movie. So I could totally see this taking it Best Picture, maybe even director and writing, but yeah, one battle after another. It rules. I tell everyone I know to go see it and to watch it. Um, because it really was like one of my favorite theater experiences all year.
I think it's PTA's you, yo. I don't think Leo's going to win Best Actor as you,
Yeah,
but I think,
I don't think so either, but I think PTA they're gonna show him some love.
but if he won, I wouldn't be upset. No, I haven't seen Marty Supreme. I was gonna see it sometime this week, but I mean, people saying
It's
that's so good.
it's
Timothy
awesome.
is so good in that.
Are you a Safdie Brothers guy?
I was actually at the premiere at TIFF for Smashing Machine.
Oh, nice.
So, to answer your question, no, not really, because I think Smashing is the only one I've seen. Like, I haven't seen Uncut Gems or
Oh,
Good Time.
man, you got to see. I think people really love Uncut Gems. I don't think I liked it as much as some people did, but Good Time is probably one of my favorites from the past decade or so because it rules and Robert Pattinson is just incredible in it. And I would encourage you to watch that and really honestly Good Time, Uncut Gems, and Marty Supreme feel like they could be a trilogy. I haven't seen Smashing Machine, but those three are very much like here's this guy and he's kind of a slime ball, but you kind of can't help but be drawn to him, and he's just like it's like a comedy of errors where it's just like for lack of a better term, one battle after another, where this guy's like just trying to accomplish something, but keeps getting stuck in all of these like crazy side quests. Like people always talk about these movies as being stressful, and that's just kind of like the perfect word for it. Like Marty Supreme almost made my top three. I was struggling for a second, but I highly recommend Good Time and Marty Supreme.
The North American premiere for Smashing Sheen. Brendan Fraser was an audience, and who
Oh
would
wow.
be 2 rows behind me, but Kevin O'Leary, who
Oh, it's from Shark Tank.
Yeah, now I heard he was in Marty Supreme. He was not in Smashing Machine. Smashing Machine was not very good. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah, I felt like it looked decent. It looked kind of normal. Like it just didn't look like there was much to it. It looked very like straightforward to me based on the trailers. The Rock looked like he was pretty good. Emily Blunt looked like she was really, really good in it.
They're okay. I mean, she was better than him. I think
Yeah.
people were more surprised The Rock can act, and even then, he can't really.
I feel like there was so much hype around that for like a split second, and then after the movie came out, I didn't really hear much about it, and I felt like they were really trying to prime it as like, oh my God, can you believe it? The Rock is like doing a serious movie, and I I don't know that he's gonna get the Oscar love or not. It feels
No.
like feels like nobody was really biting on it, which is kind of embarrassing for him.
Yeah, that was that Venice bubble because that night I got the tickets. I was able to get the tickets because I put enough money to my TIFF membership. It's kind of like the more you pay, earlier you can access tickets.
Oh wow.
And the bigger premiere that night was No Other Choice, and I picked Smashing Machine over it. But once Venice dropped, like tickets were going for 500 bucks for Smashing Machine resale
Jesus
because
Christ.
everybody want to see like doesn't meet that hype, but it was all just Venice Film Festival hype. It was
Hmm.
not that great, and frankly, people were pretty confused walking out. I was talking to, I was like, "That wasn't that good, right?" And they're like, "No."
Dang.
And then the Oscar hype died for The Rock, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't heard anybody talking about that, even like with like end of the year stuff. I really haven't heard much buzz. But yeah, that's disappointing.
anyway, but One Battle, that was a good movie. And
Yeah, that it rocks.
yeah, Leo is so great and just has a cool style to it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so my number two favorite, did you have anything else to add?
No, I think that about does it.
My number two favorite was something I saw at TIFF was Hamnet.
Oh, I still have not seen this, but I want to.
That was movie number two I saw that day. And then I saw the Ian McKellen thing right after that. And then I saw my favorite film after that. So I had like,
Oh,
that was a four movie day.
man,
It's kind of wild.
you're living the dream, honestly. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
TIFF was epic, but Hamnet was really good. It's not something I would have even typically would have enjoyed, but I think that says a lot about the quality of the film. Um, it's about, it's based off a book. It's kind of a what if story.
Mm,
What if there was a deeper meaning to the writing of Hamlet? Hamnet is the archaic way of saying Hamlet, like Shakespeare's
uh,
masterpiece. It's just, back then, I guess M's were L's and whatever. Um, so it's like, what if Hamlet was like Shakespeare's son and then things happen? It's really about like we touch the art we make and art touches us. It's kind of like that relationship. And it's a very beautifully shot film by Chloe Zhao.
mm.
I did not care for Nomadland. Like it was fine. I didn't see
Yeah, that
Eternals.
I kind of hated Nomadland. Uh, for one, I thought it was boring, but I also thought it was real kind of like tone deaf, especially when they were like, "Oh, Frances McDormand was actually like acting with real nomads, like people who actually live like this." And I was like, that's weird. Like that's weird to like cosplay as like a someone who's like less fortunate when you're like a famous actress and like they don't even know that she's an actress and they're not even really acting. I don't know. And then it also just seemed like Amazon propaganda. I don't know. That's a very strange movie.
This is something I want to pitch to you, but I forgot to mention. I really want to do a retrospective of this decade in film because, like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know which I hate more, 2020 in film. Actually, I do know what I hate more. That's 2021 in film. Now, Nomadland was a 2020 film, but the 2020 in film, that's like bad for a very obvious reason. Same for 2021. But 21 was not the return to cinema. I don't know. I was thinking we should just like lay off crazy hot takes, like just from different movies from this half decade, and then just talk because like I have a passionate hatred of like almost every movie that came out in 21.
Yeah, I'm looking at my list now from 21 and it was slim pickings that year. There's a few that I liked a lot, but a lot of pretty big stinkers that year.
Well, this is such a tangent. I don't know. It just, you're telling me that's like we have a new Spielberg movie, Wes Anderson, Del Toro, uh, um, who made Dune?
Oh,
Villeneuve, yeah.
Villeneuve.
You're telling me all these incredible directors came back to make some of their worst movies one after another. Oh, and Edgar Wright, that was his worst movie until The Running Man.
Oh, you talking Last Night in Soho?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crappy. You didn't like which Spielberg you talking about?
West Side Story.
What? You don't
I
like West
thought,
Side Story?
I thought it was just lower tier, dude. Like that was no. I mean, all right, that's probably better than like the BFG. That's not
Oh
as good
yeah.
as Fableman's. Fableman's was better,
I
but
love Fablemans. Yeah, I won't argue there. Fablemans is probably my favorite late period Spielberg, but I thought West Side Story was pretty incredible. It's beautiful and it was fun to see Spielberg do a musical.
I don't know, dude. There's something about that one, which I've seen the original, and it's not like I love the original, but there's something about that one. I don't know. Maybe hype, but at least it wasn't Ready Player One.
I don't hate that movie. I get I don't know. It's very easy to dunk on because it is just like cameo slop fest in some ways, but then it also sometimes I feel like it does have that like Spielberg magic at certain moments where you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm into this." But yeah, definitely not one that I'm like trying to revisit often.
But anyway,
But
Adam,
yeah, 2020 and 2021, you're right though, are really rough. I mean, because a lot of it was they just didn't release new movies because they were waiting for the pandemic to end. But yeah, so that left us with some pretty big stinkers.
then 21 is so weird because then like 21 that was supposed to be like return to cinema. Like you just see like film Twitter, like movies are back, and then you go to the theater, it's just like the Eternals.
Yeah, I had such bad like I think we were just so happy to be like out in public and like seeing movies again. So like the first movie I saw in a theater after the pandemic was Spiral, the Book of Saw, the Chris Rock Saw movie, and I
Yeah.
probably gave it like 4 out of 5 stars because I was like, man, this was awesome. I had a great time, and it's really like if I watch it now, I'd probably be like, this isn't that great. But at the time when you hadn't seen a new movie in the theater in like what, a year, it was like, damn, Chris Rock was great in this movie.
Oh yeah, well, my first movie back was A Quiet Place Part Two, and I really don't like. I feel like Quiet Place Part One. Um, there's a certain like people who are like trad, who are like Quiet Place. This is our movie, and that just really annoyed me. And then I finally watched it like the night before Quiet Place Part Two, and like it was okay. Divorced from all like the trad Twitter shit.
I
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I never knew that they claimed that movie, but in retrospect, it makes a lot of sense. That's really funny.
Yeah, well, it's like Jim was like farmer dad taking
Yeah,
care of his wife and kids.
yeah, and she's
He
just
listened
like,
to country music.
and she's just barefoot and pregnant, and that's about it. Well, now she does get badass by the end, but yeah, I could see why trad trad wife folks would like that.
Yeah, that was some culture war shit back in the
Did
day.
did you
And
like did you like part two?
Not really, and then made it even worse because I forgot how many stairs there were in a movie theater and literally fell down the fucking stairs
Oh
on the way
shit.
down.
Well, it's better than getting a nail in your foot from the stairs like she does in the first Quiet Place.
So true. But
I I actually really liked I finally saw part two like maybe a couple years ago, and I I feel like I think the Quiet Place movies get better as they go, and I feel like they get better the more far removed they are from John Krasinski. Like he's not really in the second one, even though he did direct it, and I feel like that one's way better than the first one. And then the most recent one, Day One, is that what it was called? That
yes,
that I thought that was the best of the three, and I think he's just like a producer on that and wasn't really super involved any other way. And I thought that one kicked ass.
I can't do these anymore, dude. Like after almost breaking my foot in the second one
You,
and
you,
just reading Twitter slop for the first one, I was like,
yeah,
I saw
I
the
was not
second one.
I
This
was
is gonna
not a
be
fan of the
bad.
first one at all. I thought the first one was super basic and they show the monster right away and it's just like, okay. And then they don't everyone was like, "Oh, it's so quiet." And it's like there's score throughout the whole movie. They don't even really commit to the bit. And I did not like the first one very much at all, but
I mean, I like
after
the
that they start getting
concept.
pretty good.
I like
Yeah,
the concept. It's just kind of bland.
the concept is kind of all it has going for it, and oh, we're off track, but
We are very much off track.
you were talking about a Hamnet.
Yeah, Hamnet. There was a long maze from Hamnet to Quiet Place Part.
Yeah.
Hamnet was very good. It was the cinematography was beautiful. The script. I don't really like movies with really archaic diction. Like I've never liked reading books that were like ye old English or even like anything 19th century or earlier. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really want to like think that hard about the pros and whatever, but like I watched this and I enjoyed it. I mean, there's some ye old words that I'm like, what the hell does that mean? But probably could have used subtitles because I don't know, British accents sometimes be kind of hard to understand, but
Yeah, I'm a big subtitle guy.
hold on. There's a tack on the floor. I nearly like pulled a Quiet Place part one.
Yeah.
I nearly
Gee.
stepped on that thing. I was like, what is that? I'm gonna step on it.
We're being cursed by a Quiet Place.
I would not be quiet if I stepped on that damn thing. But no, really good. And uh I wanted it to win Best Picture. I still do, because I think it's something really special. I think One Battle is gonna win, but I think Jessie Buckley is about a lock for Best Actress. I mean, she is phenomenal. And Paul Mescal is really good, but I mean, she was phenomenal. Even the kid actors were really great. Um, it has probably the best ending out of any movie I've seen this year.
Wow.
I mean, you could hear the audience in tears at the TIFF screening.
Jeez. I need to see it. I don't really know much about it, and I am very excited to finally see it though. I'm hoping I can catch it in theaters. Maybe they'll bring it back after the Oscar noms get announced.
Oh yeah, they will because they always do. But it was
Yeah.
it was something really special. I didn't have time to rewatch it. It's something I thought about seeing in theaters again, and it just got busy at the time. But
Yeah.
um, no, it's a special film, and like I gave it a 9.
Man.
It was great, firing off all cylinders, and it's just I'm glad it exists. And this shouldn't go into my rating, but seeing the full cast and Chloe at TIFF was great, and she meditated with us.
Oh yeah, I saw footage of that.
I was there for that. Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
we group meditated. It was kind of cool.
That's dope.
Um, really great film.
Man. That's cool. I'm sold. I definitely want to see it. I already wanted to see it, but now I'm like I'm into that.
Right, now it's time for your worst movie of the year.
All right. My worst movie of the year, and I don't even know why I went and saw it. I should know better, and I do know better. But my worst of the year that I saw was the live action Lilo and Stitch.
Oof.
Did you see it?
No, I was not seeing that direct.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet. I don't know why I keep going back to these stupid ass live action remakes. I I've gotten a little better about it. There are a lot of them I haven't seen now, and for some reason this one I was just so curious about. Like I wasn't expecting it to be good by any means. There's a few of the live action ones that I think are decent enough, but they're so like even the ones I like, I don't know that I've ever gone back to watch a second time. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm gonna watch one of these, I'm gonna watch the original. Like I'm not gonna watch this live action one. But this one in particular, I was just like morbidly curious about because I love Lilo and Stitch. It's one of my wife's favorite movies of all time, and probably one of mine too, if I really like sat down and thought about it, because it seems like so ingrained in all of us now. Like, oh, Lilo and Stitch, like you see Stitch merchandise like everywhere at every store you go to. It just feels like a thing, but that's so removed from like the movie itself is like such a smaller scale story about like these two sisters that only have each other and uh, obviously, Stitch is funny and whatever, but like the story about these two sisters is really like the heart of it, and it's so good. And Lilo is like a great character in her own right, where she's just like a weird little girl, but like not in like a obnoxious way or like a trying too hard way. Just like she just feels like a real kid, like a real weird weird kid, and it's that's a great movie. That's perfect Disney movie, one of the best. And part of the reason why I've always felt that like it probably is one of the best is because when they were making it, they were making it like the animators were in Orlando. It was when like Disney's Hollywood Studios, like MGM Studios was actually like a working studio, and so they were kind of like out of sight, out of mind, doing their own thing. So by the time they showed it to like Disney execs and stuff, it was kind of like done and they weren't being like micromanaged and shit. So they kind of just made the movie they wanted to make. And then it's like fast forward to now with this live action one and it's like the very opposite where it's just like corporate mandated to hell and it's like even the director said some things where I think people were like, "Oh, why doesn't Pleakley wear a dress?" And he says something like, "I tried." The director was like, I tried." And it's like, okay, so they had their paws all over this thing, and it makes so many like bizarre changes to the original that just didn't need to happen. And even the stuff that they keep the same is so like the comedic timing just isn't there. Like it's so like going through the motions, but like no one's heart is in it. Like I don't think there's a single good performance in this movie. And and I don't like to rag on a child actor, but she's not good either. And then the uh actress playing Nani, the older sister, not good either. Like it just lots of bizarre choices and just bad. Like the stuff that they add is just like why? Like both of them, both Lilo and Stitch have like their own near-death experiences where someone has to like rescue them, and it's like what? Why are we turning this into like a freaking superhero movie or something? Like this was just not needed. And I'm sure there's other things I'm forgetting. All the jokes they added were terrible. Where it's like screaming goat, and I'm pretty sure there was some kind of joke about like farts or diarrhea or something. I'm like, what is this? Like, it's like the the original wasn't like for adults by any means, but it at least didn't feel like it was like pl looking down at kids or like I don't know. It's awful. And then you probably heard how it ends where like Nani goes off to college or something and like leaves Lilo and it's like okay, you literally missed the entire point of the original. The whole like Ohana means family, family means no one gets left behind. She literally left her sister behind and it's like it it just sucks. And it feels like they actively hate the original movie. Like it I'm going on too long, but it really is like a terrible piece of shit and it sucks because it made like so much money and they're probably gonna make like a whole live action Lilo and Stitch cinematic universe now and we live in hell.
I was gonna say, if you look at like top movies at the box office domestically, it's only like 10 million short of number one, which is the Minecraft movie, which
Ugh.
I'll defend Minecraft movie. Like it was stupid, but it was kind of fun for the meme, you know.
I did not see that. I mean, I'm happy anytime movie theaters are doing well and like making money and getting people in seats, but god damn, it's bleak sometimes. Like that live action Lilo and Stitch is the perfect example. And now we're getting live action Moana less than a decade after the original, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I did my part. Not watch it. I didn't even watch How to Train Your Dragon remake.
No, I didn't either. I'm officially all out on all of them. Like I won't be partaking anymore. My curiosity has been killed by Lilo and Stitch.
I mean, I wish they'd do more like Pete's Dragon, like one nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Do something at least kind of interesting with it. I'd be okay with that, but
It's like Treasure Planet and Atlantis are right there. They would be pretty ripe for a live action, but it's like they just want to keep doing the ones everyone knows, and it's just like worse versions of it. But people, it's very much like the like AI slop videos that are like, hey, what would this cartoon character look like if it was a real person? And it's like just that as a 2 hour movie.
I totally got that vibe, yeah. Um,
Just awful.
my number one pick is also from Disney, but this is a really sad one, a really depressing one. It's Ella McKay.
Oh man, I didn't see it. It looked, I don't know, I've heard bad things. I thought it looked a little charming.
That's what I thought too. Even the poster, that white background with the red text with that familiar font,
Yeah.
very much echoed the films of when it was set, which was 2008. There's a real charm to that. And James L. Brooks is back and he's got
Mm-hmm.
all his buddies. Even Julie Kavner is in it.
Yeah.
Um, but that was a dreadful, horrible film. Not particularly offensive, other than the fact it's dreadfully boring. It's not funny at all, and it was like 2 hours long, and
Damn.
like it was so boring. I think I had a cold, like a little head cold then when I saw it. I don't know, I've been kind of a mess, but I definitely had a little something going around like mid-December, but dude, not like it's a weirdly written movie, but not weirdly written enough where it's kind of like funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's really boring and like nothing matters. Nobody cares. Just a waste of everyone's time and talent. And I read Disney only greenlit it, so James would be on board for Simpsons movie too. So you know what?
Heard.
I'm a huge Simpsons fan. At least that's happening. Um,
Are you still
but
into The Simpsons? Do you still watch it like current seasons?
yeah, not as much as I used to, but I also pop in an episode. I really love The Simpsons. Um, I'm not gonna say like, oh, anything past season 11's garbage. Like they got some gems here and there.
Hmm. I I should be more of a Simpsons guy. I've tried to go back and watch some older seasons. My mom was like super like overprotective of what we watched when I was a kid. So have fond memories of watching like just the couch gag and then going to bed.
Yeah.
Like that's all I was allowed to watch for like the longest time.
Season 5, you could pick any of those episodes as a gem in there,
Yeah.
for real. But yeah, just I don't really have anything to say. Just it's really bland and nothing
It's
new.
too bad because I feel like we don't they don't really make movies like Ella McKay anymore. I feel like the closest we get is like I don't know, like shitty like Netflix originals or whatever. So I like anytime like a I don't know if it's a rom-com, but like the kind of like a lighthearted movie like that that's not like high stakes, it's not like an action epic whatever. These like kind of movies for adults that are just kind of like, hey, let's have a charming time or whatever. Like there's not really like these mid-budget comedies type movies in theaters anymore. So it's a bummer when one makes it and then sucks.
Yeah, Danny Elfman did the score, and he used to have like back in the day, the average Adam Sandler movie would have a score on par with the great like Mozart operas for sure. You know, uh, it felt like a movie that was made in 2008, dug up and released today. It's not even a rom-com, and just Ella is the lieutenant governor in a state they won't say,
That's what
and
I've heard.
Obama picked off the governor to join his cabinet in term one. So Ella is going to be the new governor, but journalists found out that Ella went to the governor's basement where only official business can be had, and her and her husband had sex on a table.
Oh
So they're
God.
fucking, and like, that's not official business. It's like a scandal, but I dude, it was 2 hours. There's only like a dude in a trench coat in front of me, and then there was like a girl behind me. And as I was like getting my popcorn, picking everything up, I turned my head to see like who was back there. It was her. And I was just like, hey, that was kind of bad, right? And she's like, oh no, that's horrible. Like I thought about walking out so many times. And I said, yeah, me too, but sunken costs and all that. Like, I better do tonight. But yeah, it's just sad to see a movie so meaningless, devoid of purpose, but that's Ella McKay, tragically. And I'm sure like Five Nights at Freddy's too. I'm sure there's a lot of worse movies, but
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I try to like watch less slop, you know.
Right. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the movies I saw this year, there were a lot of favorites, a lot of them that I was like, oh, this was incredible. Loved it. Like it was hard to pick my favorites, but it was honestly hard to pick my least favorites for just like other reasons. Like those last, like Together and Lilo and Stitch were the two that I was like, these are god awful. But everything else, I was just kind of like, it wasn't great, but it's like forgettable at worst and just kind of okay at best. Like, I none of them were really like offensively bad other than those last two.
Well, then what's your worst movie? Let's hear it.
No, that was my worst was Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
my three worst were him, Together, and Lilo and Stitch.
That's right.
If we're
Sorry.
going from best of the worst to worst of the worst.
So yeah, now you're on your favorite film.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Um, should I do some honorable mentions too, real
Yeah, you
quick?
can name a few, sure.
Yeah, okay. Some honorable mentions that didn't make it to the top three, but I like a lot. Watched Wake Up Dead Man recently, the new Knives Out movie,
Nice.
and was kind of blown away by that. I'm not even like a big I thought the first one was decent. I thought Glass Onion was bad. I didn't really like that at all. But everyone else seemed to love that one. But this Wake Up Dead Man had me totally. I was all in. Josh O'Connor is incredible in it, and I think it's the best one of the series.
I've feel the same way about those first two Knives Out, so maybe I'll actually love Wake Up Dead Man.
Dude, yes. I was in no rush to watch it, and then a buddy of
Yeah.
mine was like, "You should watch this. It was really, really good." And I I loved it. Like it it's in my top five. It's not my top three, but very, very good. Marty Supreme, I mentioned earlier, that
Nice.
great movie from beginning to end. Almost made it in my top. Wicked for Good. I have like I don't want to say a love-hate relationship with it. I saw Wicked for Good. I'm gonna lose all my cred with you right now when I tell you that I saw Wicked for Good 3 times in the theater.
Whoa.
But
It's your opinion.
part of that
Not
was
mine.
because we my wife and I had like several people who wanted to go see it with us, but also my wife kept falling asleep during it. She was like, "I really want to see it" because she loved the first one, and so she saw it one full time, despite going to the theater 3 different times to see it because she kept falling asleep. So I that meant that I saw it 3 full times. But I'm such a like musical theater geek that like even though I think the lighting and the CGI and a lot of that kind of sucks in it, like the performances and the music, I'm all in. So I'm a little biased, but I was into it. Frankenstein I thought was really good. I'm all on the Jacob Elordi train. If he gets the Oscar for that, I thought it was very good. And I'm not always a Del Toro guy, but I thought this was great. Um, and then the last two I would probably shout out is like Final Destination Bloodlines, which obviously I wasn't gonna put at my very, very top or anything, but I thought it was very fun and a movie that I wasn't expecting to love, even though I liked the series. I was like, do we really need to go back to this? But it kind of plays with it in a fun way. I thought it was fun. And then Roofman, I thought was pretty fun. Did you see that?
So when I tell you I saw four movies of TIFF in one day, that was the first before Hamnet, and that
Nice.
wasn't the world premiere. That was the second ever screening, and
Hmm.
it kind of, it's kind of unfortunate. Channing Tatum wasn't there,
Hmm.
but Derek France was there to present it,
Oh,
and
that's
I
cool.
enjoyed it. It's cool.
Yeah, I watched it recently and was pleasantly surprised because I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but it's another one of those that feels like the type of movie that we don't get much of anymore, where it was just kind of like a crowd pleaser, kind of like it's just I don't know. I thought it was very just a nice movie. Like I don't think it's gonna be getting any Oscar buzz or anything, but it feels like the type that would have maybe gotten Oscar buzz like back in the day, like in the early 2000s or something. Like just a pleasant, good movie. Like tells a good story, and you're gonna walk away being like, "Oh, that was a I liked that."
Feels like, yeah, 10 years ago, people would have like, America would have like roof man fever and then
Yeah,
start making copycat crimes and shit.
it's I, I don't know what I would compare it to, like other movies like that, but just a pleasant, uh, good story, like just a good time. But yeah. And Avatar Fire and Ash, I need to see again because I'm fully Avatar pilled now. I was an Avatar hater for a long time, and I've seen the light. Praise Awa.
That's your favorite?
No, no, that's just
Okay.
another shout out. My favorite of the year. I've probably done plenty of honorable mentions, uh, but it was a really good year. Favorite number one of the year is Sinners.
Okay. That's cool. I haven't seen that yet, actually.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay. You should definitely give it a watch. I like I said, I could swap around this top three any which way, and actually I completely swapped all of them because as I had it written now, my number one was One Battle After Another, and Sinners was my number three. But I totally switched it around now. Um, but that just shows what a good year it was. It was hard to choose. Sinners is awesome. Like there, I don't want to give too much away, but there's like a moment, like a scene in that movie that I was just like levitating in the theater. I was like, dude, this is crazy. I can't believe he's doing this. Yeah, just like a really cool, slick movie where like even before you get to the vampire stuff, you're like, I'm just all in on this. Like I'm just enjoying watching this unfold and seeing them just kind of interact. Like they make you care about the characters before introducing like, okay, now we're gonna get into some like vampire wackiness, and it's shot beautifully. The music is great. Really great performances all around. And I feel like movies have been largely condemned as being sexless lately. Like nobody does like sexy movies anymore. And this was a sexy movie. Like there's several moments where you're like, geez, I haven't seen a movie go there in a while. And just like awesome performances all around. Michael B. Jordan is great. And yeah, I mean it felt like a kind of like a cultural phenomenon this year, and it's just like a blast. I saw it in theaters twice. Um, but like I said, I could have gone either which way with these. Like, I, one battle after another might be slightly better. The one thing Sinners does that bugs me a little bit is that it feels like it spoon feeds the audience a little too much, where it'll do like these quick little flashbacks, like, oh, we just mentioned this. We just revealed this. Remember this guy? Like, here's a flashback of what he looked like, and it's like, yeah, I remember. I watched the movie. You don't have to you don't have to tell me and like hold my hand so much. And I feel like there's a little too much of that in Sinners, but great movie and super fun. And I I I hope they don't ruin it and try to be like, oh, Sinners sequels and cinematic universe and prequels and whatever. I hope they don't go that route because it stands so well on its own. But I'm excited to see whatever Ryan Coogler does next.
Yeah, I'll check it out when I like gets all the Oscar nominations. I'll be honest with you, I was a little annoyed when it first dropped
Yeah.
because of the critical reception. Because it's like, oh, so we know what won Best Picture already. Because it's like, man, there's nothing that's gonna like beat this because it's got the cultural sensation aspect. It's got the critical reviews. It's like, bro, this is gonna be a lock. Best director, best actor, best picture. Um, and I think it's a testament to how good the year has been that um, they're strong contenders. I still think one battle's probably gonna win, but I could see
Yeah.
it being a one battle Hamnet Sinners kind of horse race.
Yeah. And I've seen weird takes now, so I almost feel weird saying Sinners because I've seen like so many weird takes. I got on Threads today for the first time in like ever, and like every single thread on there was like Sinners is overrated, and but then you'd also see the opposite where it's like Sinners is the best movie of the year and you're stupid if you don't think so. And it's like, and then I saw someone saying like, oh my God, people like basically acting like you got to pick one of these movies, and it's like, no, I really don't. Like if Sinners won stuff, which I don't think it's gonna win that much to be honest. But if it was Sinners, Marty Supreme, or One Battle After Another, I don't feel a need to pit any of these movies against each other. Like if any of those three won, I'd be like, I'm happy for any of those. I thought they were all like close to close to perfect. So it's really weird the like championing I've seen of all of these movies. I think a lot of it is uh coming from people who maybe don't see that many movies, and I've missed a lot this year myself, but I feel like if you don't see that many movies or that many good movies, then yeah, I could see why you'd be like, Sinners is the best movie, hands down. But it's like, honestly, there's so many that I had a hard time choosing. And I'm like, why can't we all just get along, you know? Like
Yeah.
they, all of them can be great, and I'd be happy with any of them winning stuff.
Yeah, I think if Sinners came out last year, it'd be a huge lock. Um, Last year is really
What was
crappy.
Best Picture last year?
Anora, which is the one I really liked, so I'm glad it did. I don't like The Brutalist, um, not that much, but I enjoyed it. But Anora, I really liked, but I love that director. But everything,
Yeah,
mm,
I thought Anora was very good. My favorite of last year didn't get nominated, and that was probably Challengers.
oh, that was great.
It
Yeah.
was awesome, and it got robbed for like everything.
When you talk about like movies aren't sexy anymore, that's the first movie I thought of was Challengers.
That is a good one. I liked that a lot. I liked A Real Pain a lot. Um, and The Substance and The Apprentice. I thought those were all very good.
Yeah, I need to see Sinners finally. I'm glad that like the year progressed better than last year. So we have a lot of cooler movies out. You know, it's not just so I hate when like the year's so lopsided, one thing's just gonna win everything, you know.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a few recently. Like I felt like I was surprised when Anora won last year, but maybe that was just me. Maybe I was out of the loop, but I was surprised that it swept as much as it did, and it was a little unfortunate because I thought other movies deserved some love, but because what's his face who Sean Baker like beat S- Spielberg's record for Oscars in one night or something. He broke some sort of record that I was like, he now has more Oscars than like Scorsese or something crazy where I was like, maybe we need to calm down. But it's also because he like wrote and edited and directed, so he like
And
really,
last year, I had this, you know, I just saw it was kind of mid. Like everything I saw was just like fine. It's
yeah.
okay, but
I'm glad you're a Challengers fan though.
yeah, I really like Challengers, but my favorite this year, and Challengers was so snubbed. Like, come on, that
It's,
score got snubbed. How?
yeah, crazy. Yeah, that movie rocks. But I'm excited to hear your let's hear it. Your number one for this year because I'm excited to I don't even have a guess now.
Yeah, I know, because you won't, because it freaking flopped, which is sad. Is movie number four I saw at TIFF, and it was Eternity by A24.
Oh my God. You know what? You're not the first person I've heard who said that that was their favorite of the year, and I missed it in theaters and I still haven't seen it, but I'm very, very excited to see it as soon as I can.
I really want to rewatch it. It's not the best picture I've seen. Like, they're objectively better films, but it was a favorite movie. You know, I was at the world premiere at TIFF, and it was like 9:45. I think it was between that and Hedda by Nia DaCosta and Teresa Thompson.
Hmm.
But I was like, I don't really care about that because it's kind of like a high society kind of movie. I was like, you know, Eternity, it's got people I like in the cast. So, you know, I like Miles Teller, whatever. Let's see it.
Yeah.
No expectation, dude. It blew me away. Eternity is such a great movie. It's one of those movies that like for me is so just joyful. Um, it's so pretty. Like David Frame, the director, that was his first movie he ever did, I think,
Wow.
directed, but he was a production designer before that.
Oh,
And the film
that's
is
cool.
gorgeous aesthetically. I believe it's all practical sets, maybe like
Hmm.
some CGI background, but like can't really tell. The acting's fun. The concept is really great. It's basically, I don't know if you know, but basically when you die, you don't go to heaven. You go to a waiting area kind of place, like a resort. And
Yeah.
this guy dies and his wife of 80 years shows up. And once you pick your heaven, like beach heaven or, you know, national park heaven or whatever, you can't leave. Like, so they're about to go to beach heaven. They've been waiting 80 years just to be together for eternity. And then she runs into her first husband who died in the war.
Yeah.
She has to decide who to spend eternity with because they don't want to share. And
Yeah,
really good. It feels old-fashioned in a way. Like it feels like an old movie.
yeah. That's
Humphrey
that's
Bogart.
the only thing I knew about it was that premise because I've never even seen a full trailer. They just kept showing this like I swear it was like a 10-second little like stinger when I would go see movies in the theater, and it was literally just them saying like, "Oh, you have to choose who you spend eternity with," and her just being like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Holy shit. I'm sold. That's a great premise. I'm I'm there." And then it wasn't playing very long, but I really want to see it.
It delivers on the premise. That's what I was most stunned by. But the audience loved it. Like I was just with the right audience. I mean, Divine Joy Randolph,
She's great.
she was terrific in it. I loved her in Holdovers.
Yeah.
Hold on, that's her last name, right?
Yes, I think you're right.
She was great as well as Callum Turner. It is her name. Callum, wait, Divine Joy Randolph and John Early steal every scene they're in. Um, it was just a really great date night movie, and I wanted to like bring a day to it, but it just was in and out of theaters so fast, which is sad. I definitely want to pick it up on Blu-ray. I'd even buy the screenplay book. I was stunned. It was just original, heartfelt, uh, so funny. I like when you watch a really good romantic film, and just like the charisma is just you could feel it. I
Yeah.
love, I write a little romance, not much, but I like giving characters smooth things to say, suave things. Um, and yeah, man, like I was just that was the biggest surprise of the year. I feel like maybe Hamnet one battle might overtake it. Because I'll be honest, I was kind of half asleep while watching it too. Because movie number four, and it was getting to like 10 o'clock. It ended near like midnight.
Yeah.
And I
That's
did
a
nothing
long
but
day.
watch movies all day. Um, but I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. And yeah,
Yeah, I might need to see if this one's available to rent or something because, like I said, another guy I know who sees a lot of movies, he was like, "I have a new number one of the year, and it's Eternity." And I was like, "Really?" I mean, it looks good, but that and I'm believing the hype, so I definitely want to see it. It looked very charming, and I love uh Elizabeth Olsen, so I'm psyched to finally sit down and watch it as soon as I can.
it's a very charming film. I even the row I was in, it was populated by like I think it was like the screenwriter slash director's like manager. So like I was with his entourage basically, and we talked a bit about it. It was super cool because like when you see like Chloe Zhao, like Hamnet's really great, but that's like a master already.
Yeah,
I mean she won best I think she won best director that year.
I can't remember. You might be right.
Definitely won best picture. Um,
Yeah,
but that's cool, but that's not that inspiring. I think it's inspiring when you watch a guy's first feature, it all comes together like that. Like that's kind of what it
yeah,
felt like. I can imagine that's what it felt like watching like Reservoir Dogs or something.
yeah.
Like, man, this guy has a sauce, and like I didn't even know who he was, and nobody did. He doesn't even have a
Right,
Wikipedia page.
right.
It's
Yeah,
good.
you're there on the ground floor. Yeah,
Yeah, but awesome movie. Definitely check it out. It makes a great date night movie. So yeah.
yeah.
That was my favorite of the year.
Man, that's a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting you to go there, and that's that's cool.
Oh man. Well, it's about closing time for the Rock Shop. Wesley, thanks so much for coming on. Where can the audience find you?
Thanks for having me. It was a blast. I love talking movies, and we got off track a couple of times, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah, it's
Um, you can find me on Instagram. I'm Wesley underscore collects. I post a lot of my like action figures and nerdy stuff on there. I run the ET No Context account on Twitter that we talked about. But the work I'm probably most proud of, you can find on YouTube. My buddy Cody Seymour and I have a channel called Viewist. We do a lot of like documentary style videos about all sorts of like nerdy stuff, like things we're nostalgic for. And we've also gone out and filmed some stuff recently. We were pretty happy with a lot of the stuff we put out last year. So if you're into nerdy documentary kind of video essay style stuff, check it out. View us on YouTube.
awesome. And for the audience, you can find me on Instagram, Rye underscore the tiger, one word. Until next time, see ya.